Jai Hind. I, Dr. Archita Bhatnagar, welcome you all to the International Symposium on Entrepreneurship, Fostering Innovative Mindsets for Global Success. We all have gathered here to listen to the great minds speak about how to gain success as entrepreneurs. In this series, we have with us the keynote speaker, Professor Edmond, sir, the Dean and Professor Emeritus, Director, Office of International Programs at Huston-Tillostan University, USA. Welcome, sir. Please give a big round of applause to sir. We have with us architect Bhupendra Kumar, sir, the founder and managing director of Aeforia Group, Noida. Welcome, sir. Please give a big round of applause. Ms. Mahima Garg, ma'am, is the CEO at CertoMeter, Bangalore. We welcome you, ma'am. Please give a big hand to ma'am. Ms. Riya Jawla, ma'am, is the chairperson at Omtej Education Private Limited, Vice President of ALAK, the NGO for Youth Empowerment, and Director, Career Launcher, Meerut. You are welcome, ma'am. Please give a big round of applause. I welcome the Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Major General G.K. Thapalial, sir. Welcome, sir. I welcome the Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Dr. Manoj Kapil, sir. You are welcome, sir. I welcome the in-charge EDC and Vice Principal Site, Professor Dr. Sharvan Kumar Garg, sir. I welcome all the deans, the directors, the department heads, faculty members, and dear students in today's symposium. There is a tradition followed in our university to felicitate the guests by offering a sapling. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Dean FET, sir, and in-charge EDC to present the sapling to Professor Edmond, sir. We are felicitating the guests, and following the tradition, we are presenting a sapling to the guests. Swami Vivekanand Subharti University has a clear vision of Shiksha, Seva, Sanskar, Evam Rashtriyata, means education, selfless service, culture, and patriotism. With a magnificent area of 250 acres, the university has 13 faculties with 22 colleges and departments offering more than 180 courses at diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level. This symposium is organized by the University Entrepreneurship Development Cell. To know more about the cell, I call on stage Engineer Ritu Sharma, member EDC.
Jai Hind. It's my pleasure to introduce the Entrepreneurship Development Cell of Swami Vivekanand Subharti University. The vision of EDC is to be a major player in the national saga of growth and development by encouraging youth to become entrepreneurs who will contribute to the development in the terms of economic and developed rather than developing nation, with the aim of contributing and strengthening the economic powers of India and introducing the concept of job providers rather than job seekers. Aligned with Indian flagship initiative like Make in India and Startup India, the EDC equips aspiring entrepreneurs with the necessary skills, mentorship, and financial support to turn their ideas into successful ventures. The EDC also teaches about various pitfalls and success mantras for organizing and carrying out entrepreneurial activities. The entrepreneurs are made to understand, manage, and overcome various risk factors involved in entrepreneurship. The cell is led by Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Major General Dr. G.K. Thapalial as Chairman, with Dr. Shailya Raj as the Management Representative and Dr. Sharvan Kumar Garg as the in-charge, supported by industry experts like Mr. Sunil Gupta, MSME, Mr. Rajesh Mishra, Finance, Dr. Supritam Shah, Member Secretary Ms. Sarika Abhay, member, all are dedicated to empowering the youth and contributing to the nation's economic development. Our mission goes beyond that. Just not the business success. We believe in creating the entrepreneurs who think of the nation and society before themselves, ensuring that their ventures contribute meaningfully to both economic growth and social well-being. In summary, the EDC aim to prepare future leaders who will not only innovate but also build a progressive and developed nation. Through various initiatives like workshops and hands-on experience, we are committed to nourishing the entrepreneurial spirits in all of them. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Major General Dr. G.K. Thapalial sir, the Vice Chancellor of SVSU, has over 40 years of experience in armed forces and higher education. He has been conferred with various prestigious awards such as Sena Medal by President of India, Lifetime Achievement Award by the Association of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons of India. He has been the head of maxillofacial team at UN Peacekeeping Mission Hospital in Cambodia, the head of biomedical research team at Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, DRDO, India, and professor and head at numerous private universities. Now, I call on stage VC sir for the welcome address. Please give a big hand to VC sir.
Jai Hind. A brilliant mind sitting in the audience. Professor Edmond, Mrs. Edmond, all the invited entrepreneurs, faculty members from Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, faculty members particularly headed by dynamic leader Professor Manoj Kapil, Engineering College, and my dear student. First of all, I must congratulate the Faculty of Engineering for hosting this program in association with EDP Cell of Swami Vivekanand Subharti University. EDP cell is also headed by Engineering College only, I suppose. EDP, entrepreneur, is the word nowadays which is speaking all over wherever I attend conference related to employability of our graduates. Bharat, Viksit Bharat 2047, quality education as per the NEP 2020. This is one area the entrepreneurship is spoken quite frequent. What is this entrepreneurship? In my mind, this is the mindset. Everybody cannot become an entrepreneur, and I'll say everybody can become entrepreneur. But you only need that particular mindset. And that mindset is nurtured, fostered right from the childhood. And that comes with the habit of asking questions, not believing everything, whatever you see or whatever you hear. You want to know why this is happening, how this has happened, and what is the outcome, and how is this going to help me or help my society. If you have these questions right from the beginning, and these questions you are continuing to ask now, and you will keep continuing ask questions, you are a great entrepreneur. You will become a great entrepreneur. Second thing, when you ask question, you do not believe in assumptions. Every assumptions you ask, you find out the reason for assumptions. Second thing, mindset, you have to, when you ask question, you find the solution, and you have many solutions for that question, and you find the best solution for that questions. Answer. When you find the best answer, then you start working on that solution. So what I say means you should not be worried about the problem. Rather, you should invite the problem and try to find the solution for those problems. That's the mindset entrepreneurs is required. When you find the solution, then there are challenges. Whether you will succeed in this, you will not succeed in this. You should be ready to face the failure. That's another mindset. When you are ready to face the failure, you are a successful man. And when you learn from your failure, that is the quality a great entrepreneur, great scientist will have. Second thing, you should be always aware, that awareness observe what is happening around you. The great scientists, the great entrepreneurs have been great observer. I will give example of Alexander Fleming, who invented penicillin, the wonder drug, which became very, very beneficial in World War II. How did he find the penicillin? He was working on colony of bacteria and he was going for vacation. So he discarded all these petri dishes where he had grown bacteria. When he came back after vacation, he found so many bacteria in that particular dish have died. He found the reason how they died. And he found there a mold which has grown on that petri dish. And that petri dish mold was the reason for their death. Penicillium notatum. And he extracted the drug penicillin from that notatum. Penicillium notatum. And that became a wonder drug. The first antibiotic discovered in the world. There was an engineer who was working on recording the heart rhythm. And by mistake, he put some register on the circuit and he found that a kind of impulses which is generating from here, it exactly like this heart impulses. And he knew that I can apply this knowledge, and that is the invention of pacemaker, heart pacemaker. So how many lives have been saved by that keen observation? So all young minds sitting here, this particular seminar or symposium will definitely help you in igniting that potential which is there inside you all. So please listen carefully, be aware of what is being spoken and think critically about it. You have that potential. You can become a great entrepreneur. You can become an inventor. You can become a great scientist. I wish you all the best and thank you for the seminar. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. As sir said, we have to face the failure. Then only we can achieve something. Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Your words are always make our students motivated. Thank you, sir. Now, without any further ado, a true global visionary and a champion of entrepreneurship with us, with nearly 4 decades of expertise in international business, Dr. Stephen Edmond has not only shaped minds in the classroom, but has transformed communities around the world. Dr. Edmond's career has taken him to over 50 countries, over 5 continents, with a significant focus on Africa. Notably, he led a groundbreaking initiative in Monrovia, Liberia, where he developed a 2-week training program to empower women entrepreneurs and helped establish a community bank to provide micro-loans to support their businesses. Dr. Edmond also has international teaching experience, having served as a visiting professor of international business at Monterrey Tech in Mexico City, where he contributed to the MBA program. Awarded the prestigious ExxonMobil International Faculty Development Fellowship, Dr. Edmond's knowledge spanned the globe, from seminar in the Hungary and Czech Republic to teaching in the MBA program at Monterrey Tech in Mexico City. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Stephen Edmond, who will share his insights on building innovative mindsets for tomorrow's entrepreneur. Please, sir.
We almost had a catastrophe this morning. If you didn't notice it, I lost my specs. And without these, I would have to walk away. But I am here. And I'm happy to be here. Mr. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Manoj Kapil, Dean of the Engineering Faculty, other deans, other faculties, and students. Thank you so much for being here. So I am so very happy to be here. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, entrepreneurship. That is something that I truly enjoy. I've been doing this for half of my life. I started several businesses, get it started, and then I get bored when it becomes successful, move on to others. But now it's your turn. We're going to talk about your turn to become an entrepreneur. So it takes a special kind of mindset today. When I was an entrepreneur, you know, you had to have certain characteristics, entrepreneurial skills, like creativity, problem solver. You had to be able to communicate. But that is not enough today. You need to also have an innovative mind, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before that, let's talk about what exactly is entrepreneurship. It's very simple. It's an individual that starts their own business. Very, very simple. And based on an idea that you have, you start a business. You know how often that you write on little napkins? You're thinking about certain things. I remember one of my students at the university, at Huston-Tillostan University, he was writing what he thought was a business plan, not an official business plan, but he was writing on a piece of napkin. We were at some restaurant, probably on campus, and you know that guy turned that idea into a realization. This guy was writing about how much he would communicate with Nike about starting a business. Now this young man who was in my class a long time ago, he has one of the largest shoe stores, Nike shoe stores in Austin, Texas. So I just say that to say that your ideas are never bad. You have to seek them through. See what it says. So that's all that entrepreneurship is. Someone who starts a business and someone who can create something perhaps if you cannot start a business. That is it. So start thinking about business. Now, entrepreneurship used to be a term that was reserved for those who simply start companies and looking for profit. Me, when I first started into business, I was simply looking for profit. That has changed today. Nowadays, entrepreneurs are looking to solve a problem, they're looking to create value, and they're looking to improve lives. That's you, future entrepreneurs. Do not just look for profits like me. Profits are good, but you want to do more. Okay? An example, so I said solve problems, create value, and help lives. But what is missing in my generation when I was learning the skills, the entrepreneurial skills, is something key: innovation. We didn't think much about innovation back then. You get an idea and you go for it. We're not trying to create anything new. We're not trying to do like Steve Jobs. He's an innovator. I was not an innovator, I didn't think. So innovation is very important. You cannot be an entrepreneur if you do not have an entrepreneurial mind. You have to think hard on entrepreneurial mind. Let me give you an example of innovation. Going back to Steve Jobs. The telephones. Most of you do not know anything about landlines. You know, a landline is a phone that is stationary. It does not move with you. Okay? What you have now is a mobile smartphone. I grew up with a landline. And we were so excited when we had a movie. Does anybody know of Star Trek, the series? No. Star Trek was a science fiction film back in the United States, and they used to have flip phones. And everybody in the United States were wondering, when are we going to be able to get some Star Trek type phones? Who was the innovator that came up with the flip phone? Does anybody know? Anybody heard of Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs. That's an innovator. He saw something he saw a need, and he came up with the need. And look what happened to his company. So I'm saying, be an innovator. Be an innovator. If you want to be an entrepreneur, do something extra. Do not just solve problems, create value. You have to do extra. Be an innovator. Come up with something new. Improve on a product. That's what it's all about. Now, you've heard me mention innovative mindset. That's very important. There are certain elements to an innovative mindset. You have to be curious. You're not going to be a successful engineer if you're not, entrepreneur, if you're not curious. You have to be adaptable, definitely. And most importantly, that I would say, you have to be resilient. You can't give up. And I'll come back and talk about those in a little bit. And also, you have to be able to collaborate with others. You can't just be solo. But let me talk about curiosity. Why does a problem exist? You are curious. You see something and you ask the question, why is this so? And how can I improve this? That's the beginning of being an entrepreneur. You see a problem, you want to solve it. And not just solve it, you want to make a profit as well. My example of that, I was in West Africa way back then, just crisscrossing the African continent. And I went into a beauty salon with a girlfriend, a friend of mine. And she was going to get her hair done. So I'm sitting there waiting on her so we can go somewhere else. And the African hair is different than your hair. So sometimes the Afro hair needs to be relaxed so that it could be manageable. And I hope I'm saying that right. So there was certain products called a relaxer. You do not know what a relaxer is. You apply it on your hair and it makes it straight. So these beauticians were doing that in this particular salon in Togo. And I just, coming from the USA, I just thought, this is not right. They have some stuff from China. They can't even read the instructions. Have some stuff from France. The relaxer, in case you do not know you do not know what a relaxer is. The relaxer is in a 1-pound jar, but it is a paste. You turn it over, it will not drip. I turned that relaxer, supposedly relaxer, from China over, and it was dripping. And I said, they're selling the worst products to the folks in Africa. There's a need there. So what I did, I cut my trip short. I ran back to the United States in Atlanta, Georgia, because in Atlanta at that time you had a whole lot of hair care producing companies. So I contacted I contacted one of the hair care producers, and I told him about my experience over there. So he asked me, he wanted me if I wanted to sell his products over there. That was the beginning. I can sell his products and learn. Brought his products over there, made a lot of money. I saw a problem, and I fixed it, but it was my curiosity. It was my curiosity. Why is this happening? So I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money in there, but back then, as I mentioned to you, profit was my motive. Now, profit is a motive, but it should be more than that for you. So that's one of the elements of the entrepreneurial mind. Of course, adaptability. You have to be able to adapt. If you run into some kind of issues that's beyond your control, do not just throw your arms up and give up. That means you do not have that entrepreneurial spirit. Because if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, there is no way that you will let anything stop you. You'll fail, you'll keep coming back. You'll fail, you'll keep coming back. So, and we're going to talk about that. That's called resilience. But anyway, adaptability. COVID-19 hit us badly. It was around the world. And example of adaptability, the airline industry. I was so impressed on how the airline, you have to keep the show going. You have people to feed. You do not want to lay people off at their worst time. So what the airline did, of course, people were not traveling. There were so many restrictions. So what the airlines did, the majority of them, like Virgin Air and a few others, 10 to 15% of their total profit used to be cargo delivery, cargo products. So they weren't delivering people, so they flipped it completely around. 90% during the COVID pandemic became the items that they delivered, and only about 10% of the people were being flown around the world because there were so many restrictions. I remember I tried to travel. I was going to go to Morocco. Bought a ticket, took all my vaccines, got my passport. At the airport, Morocco, at the last moment, said, we're not accepting foreigners. So that, with all that kind of confusion, people just stopped traveling. I decided I'd wait maybe 2 years before I get on the airplane again. But I'm getting off a little bit. So anyway, that's adaptability. Those airlines continue to operate whereby most of the other businesses did not. They were able to adapt, others were not able to adapt. So you, being a good entrepreneur, you have to be curious. You must be curious. You see something, you want to explore it. You have to adapt. If you hit a weak patch in what you're doing, something beyond your control, stops you from moving forward with your plans, you have to be able to adapt. It's necessary. You got that entrepreneurial spirit, so you will adapt. Resilience is so very important. If you cannot bounce back from a failure. Now, anybody who studied, just even read about entrepreneurship, know that most of you will fail. I failed so many times, but I kept coming back because I keep mentioning entrepreneurial spirit. It's something that's inherent in you. If you have it, you have it, and you will eventually be an entrepreneur. There's no way you cannot be an entrepreneur. So resilience. Most of your big corporations, most of your people fail. Let me give you one example. I like to give examples. You have Kentucky Fried Chicken over here, but you do not know about Kentucky Fried Chicken's competitor. It's called, there's 4 locations in Delhi. Louisiana, Popeye's Louisiana Chicken. The owner of Popeye's Louisiana Chicken, which is better than KFC, this guy failed so many times, and now he has locations of his chicken place in 30 different countries. He's got about 3,000 locations just in the United States alone, and he only started in 1974. So that's a young company compared to KFC. But about his resilience, this guy started off with a donut shop. You know, he was working with his brother in New Orleans. He had nothing. He was a 16-year-old dropout from high school. So his brother was trying to help him. Told him to work, learn how to do donuts, and I'm going to give you a franchise. The brother gave him a franchise, his own donut place. He failed. He was not making profit. You know, 16 years old, he should have probably gone and graduated from high school to learn how to run a business, but you can't run a business without high school. So he failed that, but did he stop? No way. He jumped into something else. He jumped into an insurance company. He failed again. Al Copeland, the owner, did not stop. He tried again. He opened up a hamburger place, selling hamburger, French fries, hot dogs, and of course soda. He realized that he was barely making enough money to pay his employees. Barely making enough money, so he was failing again. Then he noticed something. He had a cook from Louisiana that was cooking on the side for some of the customers. And the chicken that this guy was cooking was bringing in more revenues than his hot dogs and his hamburgers and whatever else he was selling. So the light bulb went off. He said, something must be good about this chicken. Yes, it's good. It's from Louisiana. We like spicy stuff. So what this guy was doing was making spicy chicken native to our area. KFC was there, but KFC didn't know anything. They didn't localize like they should have. They made one chicken for everybody in the United States. Mild. Something that I wouldn't eat. But anyway, when this guy started with the spicy chicken, everybody in the United States wanted that chicken. So he finally made it. So I say that I give you this example of resilience. If you hit a roadblock, do not stop. Keep going. You got that entrepreneurial spirit, you'll make it. I think I failed probably 3 businesses before I finally got the hair care company that I may talk about later. That was a big one, but I failed 3 times. I didn't stop. I ran out of money. Example. I go back and forth. Now, the hair care company took me a while because I had lost a lot of money. Moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I was teaching. No money. I had to pay bills. But I took a second job in the night. Does anybody know what a security guard is? How you make rounds and all that? Security guard. I was watching a building in the night. And so I worked 3 years, extra job, came up with about $25,000. That's enough to start another business. But I still had my teaching job at the university. So you have to be resilient. Do not stop if you fail, is what we're saying. And one more element of a mindset, innovative mindset, collaboration. We used to think that you can be solo and do it all on your own. Not so. Not so. You need some partners. Not business partners, but you need people to help you, to give you advice. You need to have different stakeholders just to give you advice. You can't do it alone. You do it much better if you collaborate with others. So we're talking about curiosity. We're talking about adaptability. We're talking about resilience, collaboration. Those are the main elements of an innovative mindset. Something that you probably already have. If you do not have it, can it be taught? Can you learn it? Yes, sirree. So how do you build an innovative mindset? Lifelong learning. You have to embrace lifelong learning. And I'm sure your professors tell you that all the time, the same thing. I know when I was a professor, I would tell the students that you do not stop learning after you graduate. Continue on. So you as an entrepreneurship, you need to learn as much as you can, not just in your field. You know, I know you want to read engineering, cybersecurity, and all that stuff. Learn other stuff. Learn about business. If you're going to run a business, you need to know about management. You need to know about marketing. You need to know all these different things, finances. So keep reading. Keep reading. It'll help you develop an entrepreneurial mindset. You have to take risks. If you are too afraid to take a risk, you're not going to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs take risks. We know it, but we minimize our risk. We don't invest big and lose big. We're going to start off small, and hopefully we're going to make some small mistakes. We can handle the small mistakes, not lose too much of our revenue, and then eventually keep growing. But you must be ready to take risks. If you're too afraid, you may have a problem there as being a successful entrepreneur. Okay? You need to build a network. Remember, I just talked about collaboration. You need to build a network. You need to start talking to your professors, start talking to your peers, and just besides your professors and your peers, the professional audience. You need to be able to talk. In the United States, that's key. At the university, we bring professionals to campus to network with students all the time. Because these professionals, even before the students leave, they are talking about various ventures. So it's not a solo thing anymore. You need to collaborate. You need to build a network. I've seen some of the students at our university, Huston-Tillostan University, they have a notebook with people like vice presidents from Tesla's car. Tesla is headquartered in my city, Houston, Austin, Texas. These youngsters who are only sophomores, they have as their part of their network people from Tesla, engineers from Tesla, IBM, all that stuff. So you need to develop a good network. Okay? And you have to keep an open mind to failure. We talked about resilience. You have to keep an open mind to failure. You may fail. It's almost inevitable. It happened to me. It happened to Copeland, the Popeyes guy. It happened to so many people. So many people. So be prepared. So you can develop an entrepreneurial mindset. It is possible. Okay? So now, what you have to take into consideration technology if you're going to do business. When I was coming around, there was no such thing. It was so minimum, and I'm hoping I'm not running out of my time. Technology has helped to level the playing field. When I first started in business, I was a small company and I couldn't fake it. I couldn't fake it to show the large corporation that I was big like them. But now you have internet, you have Zoom capacity, you have all kind of digital platforms, so, and web page. So you can be operating right here in Meerut, and you may have a customer all the way in Austin, Texas. And you may look like one of the largest companies around, a multi-million-dollar company because of technology. So I say that to say the field has been leveled. It wasn't that way when I was there, because I'm going to give you one more example. When I started in business, nobody knows what a telex is. I was communicating to my customers in Africa by way of a telex. Not WhatsApp, not telephone, but a telex. You would go into one of those big, they were too expensive for you to own, so you would go into one of those print shops like Kinko's, I don't know what they call them over here, and somebody would just get on a teleprinter and print something, and it would take about 2 days to get across the water. That's a telex. We were all happy when we got the fax, but the same thing, it would take maybe a day or two to get across the waters to my customers. And then came the internet and the web page, and now Zoom. Too bad I'm not in business anymore. That would have made it so much easier. I could pretend that I'm a very large multi-million-dollar company. I cannot do that, but you can. You can. You have to use technology. This is a global economy now. You know, we're interdependent with every other nation in the United States when we do and the world when we do business. So understand that. Use technology. And you have some emergency technologies, some emergency technologies that are coming out. They baffle me. Does anybody know anything about AL, artificial intelligence? That's beyond me. Blockchain. You're in engineering. Look into those new emerging technologies. There's got to be ways that you can leverage that into a business. Look into it, believe me. Because I know one of my students from Sri Lanka, he graduated from it about 7 years ago. He's doing all kinds of things with artificial intelligence. He just signed a contract with the United States government to do something with AI. I don't know what it was, but it was a $16 million contract. AI. Look into those emerging technologies. You'll be surprised how many businesses you can create. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to close, but I want to say the world needs you. We need entrepreneurship. Let me tell you who helps to grow a country's economy. You do. You think it's those multinational corporations? Like I think you have Geo over here. You have Geo. You have what is it? J. You have so many. Oh, I can't. You have so many corporations over here. Multinational. Yes, they hire a lot of people. They generate a lot of revenues. But China, India is like the United States. The majority of our GDP comes from small businesses. We have nothing but small businesses. We generally have something like about 600,000 new small businesses every month. And it may be more over here because your population is larger than the USA. So what I say is that you can get into some businesses. It may have to be small at first, but you have to be curious. See what is needed. See what is broken. Fix it up. Find out what the demand is. Get a business. It's okay. Please. It's okay to start a business when you're in college. A lot of my students, when I was teaching at the university in Austin, they had businesses already. I meant to talk about a few because some of them, they started small and they're so huge right now. You can get your own business while you're in college. It doesn't have to be a $1 million business. I know a lot of you, I've been talking to some of you. You want to go straight from college into a startup, a large startup. You do not want to do an 8 to 5. Get that innovative mind. Be creative. Be curious. Know how to adapt. Be resilient. Collaborate with your peers. And get a business. So I'm hoping when I come next year that your professors will tell me that some of you already have your own businesses. Thank you very much.
As sir shared many stories of different entrepreneurs, your words, your encouraging words providing benefits to our students who were present here get lots of things from you. Thank you so much, sir. Now this time for a panel discussion, I would like to invite Dr. Aruna Bansal, Associate Professor, as the moderator of the panel discussion.
As India is paving its way to be a developed nation by 2047 on its 100th year of independence, it needs its line of innovators. It needs you, the youth who aspire to contribute to the nation's growth. Being a premier educational institution, it is our imperative responsibility to guide the ones associated with us. Keeping this in mind, we do arrange many programs for the guidance of our students through our University Entrepreneurship Development Cell. I am Dr. Aruna Bansal. I am here as the moderator of the panel discussion on the topic Global Perspectives on Entrepreneurship and Innovation. We have with us a brilliant line of panelists of varied accomplished professional pathways who have been there, done that, who produce the entrepreneurs, the dean of the college, we have who invest in them, we have the entrepreneurs themselves. It is my profound privilege to introduce the panelists. The panelist number 1 would be Professor Stephen Edmond. Sir, kindly join us on the stage. He has already been introduced and he has already told us many running examples of the expertise. Please give a big round of applause to him. Then second in line is Ms. Mahima Garg, CEO CertoMeter, Bengaluru, India. With over 19 years of experience in professional learning and the IT certification industry, Ms. Mahima is a seasoned entrepreneur driving innovation in online education. After mastering computer science, she embarked on a journey of startups, achieving remarkable success with her ventures. Ms. Mahima's first startup generated millions in revenue and served millions of learners, propelling her to develop tech platforms for online learning, co-founding Vidu, a B2B tech platform for educators. Top Rankers, a B2C startup, further solidified her expertise in the field. Now, as the founder and CEO of CertoMeter, Mahima is revolutionizing online upskilling for job seekers and IT professionals. I tell you guys, she is the woman to talk to about your entrepreneurship journey. Welcome, ma'am. Next in line, again a glitterati, architect Bhupendra Kumar, founder and managing director, Aeforia Group, Noida. Again, two of my favorites. I have been living in Noida for so long and it was my dream to be an architect. Couldn't be. Architect Bhupendra did his B.Arch and MA gold medalist from Jamia Millia Islamia and did LLB from Uttarakhand University. He is an architect practicing corporate interiors and civil green building designs for over a decade. Being a curious scholar, he believes in accepting new challenges and explore new learning opportunities. In the same pursuit, he has attended IIM Kolkata for Family Business Management Program, IIT Delhi for Data Analysis, and Uttarakhand University for Bachelor's Degree in Law. Designing green is his passion, inspiration, and contribution to the nation. In this bid to walk the talk, laid the foundation stone of practice, Aeforia. Dictionary meaning of Aeforia in itself gives the message. It means sustainable forum. Welcome, sir. Last but not the least, Ms. Riya Jawla, Chairman, Omtej Education Private Limited, Vice President, Alakh, the True Indian, an NGO for youth empowerment, and Director, Career Launcher. Riya Jawla is a well-known PDP trainer who has trained thousands of students till now through her workshops, seminars on cracking interviews, and group discussion in different management and engineering institutions. Presently, she is the Director of Career Launcher, Meerut. She has worked as HR Executive at Dish TV. She has worked as Assistant Professor at various management institutions. Academically, she has done MBA as Gold Medalist from JIMS Delhi and MA Economics from CCS University and LLB. Also, she is running an NGO, Alakh, the True Indian, working for youth empowerment. She has been awarded with Narayani Sushma Swaraj National Award and Meerut Ratan Award in 2015 by Asim Nari Shakti Mishika Welfare Society. Also, she is a recipient of the award of Women of Substance. Now, let us start with a panel discussion on the global perspective. So, let us start with the discussion. First of all, let's start with the basics. The common question comes to the mind of the student. What is entrepreneurship? Is it equivalent to business? What it takes to be an entrepreneur? So I would like to open the panel with Ms. Mahima. Ma'am, please open the panel.
Good morning, everyone. And I feel immense pleasure coming back to my roots. I belong to the same place near to this Muzaffarnagar. I have been, born and brought up in this area, so I understand the perspective. So 25 years back, I was also one of you sitting in somewhere in the college, and I had no clue what is entrepreneurship. I never even had this word called entrepreneurship. I only saw people around me having shops, having small factories, running businesses, and that's what I learned. So, answering to your question, what is entrepreneurship? So many people translate business into entrepreneurship. But let's think before we say this. I would like to understand from the crowd, how many of you are aspiring entrepreneurs? Just raise your hands. Very good. And how many of you have ideas? Okay. So I'll start with idea versus problem. In India, almost all of us would have some idea of building something. Can idea change into a big business? Maybe, but not really in the beginning. So what we have to do, we have to figure out the problem around us. The first step is that should be the real problem. After that, we need to see if people are ready to pay for it, right? I can solve the problem. People coming, say, from Meerut city to this university, they're struggling. I might arrange some transport and make a business, right? So the first is there should be a problem. People should ready to pay. The second part is it scalable? How big it can be? So if it is within the area, then it is not a scalable problem. It could be a small business, but it cannot turn into a bigger company. So always keep in mind, when you are thinking about entrepreneurship, let's think big. Let's only focus on the problem. People should ready to pay for it. The third is it should be scalable. If anyone can solve these three, you can be an entrepreneur. And the last is you should be passionate about it. As long as you are willing to solve that problem, you are sorted. Then you can be. So think around those lines. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That around sums it all. She has given you the important parameters which you can work upon. And if you do have some kind of fulfilling all the parameters and you do have some kind of ideas, just go through this checklist. My next question goes to architect Bhupendra. And again, I will be talking about that what are the parameters the budding entrepreneurs should look into their product or their company to make it a successful venture. What kind of founders they should find out, what kind of investment they should look for, and all.
Jai Hind, everyone. Okay. So I was listening to General Sir, I was listening to Professor Edmond, and I think all the parameters, all the key factors, whatever is required for being an entrepreneur is already explained. So, in my opinion, it starts with mindset. Now, how to develop that mindset? And honestly speaking, again, if we go back 21 years or 20 years from now, it means 2 decades. We were at college or we were at university or school. And that time, honestly, this entrepreneurship was a buzzword. We don't know what was it. We don't know, are we actually made for it? And that exactly happened once I myself went to college, and I was asked that time from my seniors that being an architect is your choice or chance. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that was just by chance. Because as everyone would do, we were having just two choices, doctor and engineer. At that time, I was not even aware there is another field as an architect, I can do something. So when we failed at the engineering examination, we got that, the seat in the architecture. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I was good at paintings and art and all those things, so I could very well do in my exam and could get admission into architecture. So that's how it journey started, and my answer to that time was, because I was suggested to go back, telling me that this field is needs very hard work, needs dedication, needs passion and everything. I said, never mind, now I am into, I will do something good. And trust me, I not only was a topper in my college during that particular fraternity, I did well and got my gold medal also in my masters. So the idea and spirit was, that is fine, whatever life is throwing on you. Maybe I would have gone into the depression here, I couldn't get into engineering examination. I was, by the way, school topper also, and it was thought as a destiny to me that I will be IITian one day. So if I couldn't qualify IIT means my world is shattered. Yes, at that time it was and I remember the day when I was sitting in my room alone, looking at my walls of the notes and just crying. Why I couldn't qualify the examination, I don't know. Maybe that was the roadblock I hit at that time in my education. But yes, that spirit of being an entrepreneur, that spirit of doing something good in life, that kept me alive. That was the belief system inside that yes, I can do something. And that is exactly what required being an entrepreneur, that you have to believe that you can do. And that immediately reminds me the saying from Honorable Ratan Tata, and now Swargya Ratan Tata. He said that it's not important to take always the right decisions. Your decisions may wrong sometimes, but you have to make your honest effort to make every decision come true or become right. And that is what is needed. So once we talk about the mindset of an entrepreneur, that time the mindset, apart from all these resilience and your honesty, your quality, your problem solving, yes, every damn thing is required. But more than that, that mindset required to give. This session started from the statement of job seekers or job providers. So entrepreneurship becomes with providing. That comes with the sense of giving. If you are ready to give, whether you are ready to give to society as your service, whether you are ready to give your society as some contribution, yes, you definitely are an entrepreneur. And trust me guys, this is always in the roots of us. Hope you all remember Sone ki Chidiya. So India was always at the top of economy. Be it with the past, yes, I understand. The ones we lost our scene when we were invaded, when we were in the power of invaders. That time, yes, we lost a lot. But now again, we are the third economy of the world and we are growing faster, and soon I am hopeful the moment we are reaching the goal, we will be the top economy of the world again. So how it happens? Because if you go to our roots, there was a saying, देश चाकरी परदेश भीख बराबर है. मतलब अगर हम अपने देश में नौकरी करते हैं तो परदेश में भीख के बराबर है. These kind of sayings were there into our ancient culture. It means everybody, single or as a whole, they always were there for entrepreneurship. They were always for some business. They were always for something on their own, be it be an artisan, be it be some businessman or anything. This is always in the roots. So as Mehmet said that yes, nowadays there are certain different parameters. You have to be very well versed with the technologies. You have to think about the getting paid for your services, what you are providing, taking care of your funds, and then taking care of a scalability. But whatever, be the small or bigger business, you can make it big. I'll give you many examples, like say example, now everybody knows Nykaa. If you go back, what Nykaa exactly it? It's just a store which is providing all these items for the ladies and everything, right? So one day it would have been just a single store. Now it's a big name. So it doesn't matter. Don't go too much into the complexity. Don't confuse yourself. Don't undermine yourself. Do whatever you can do and put your honest efforts, and that is it. It is required for being an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Bhupendra. So we see that again, it is all the people have dwelled upon the fact that the mindset is the most important thing. You have to really come out of your comfort zone of rotating the common syllabus and then going through the exams and then sitting in some placement exam and then clear it and then go for a job and earn money, right? You have to come out of that comfort zone, and a lot of people here are here to guide you. You can connect with them through the EDC cell. Now, again, we have seen we have heard a lot of stories of rags and riches, that some college dropout, they made big and they earned crores. So it is a very common mindset of today's generation कि पढ़ने की क्या ज़रूरत है? We do not need to study. We can do good even without the study, because a lot of people are not doing it. So first of all, I would like to say that not a lot of people are doing it. The percentage is very less. That luck may be favoring them that time. But so I would like to hear this from Miss Riya Jawla, that why higher education or why education is important to be a successful entrepreneur, or to be to play long, to play keep on playing, to be a consistent entrepreneur. Ms. Riya Jawla.
Yeah. Jai Hind, everyone. So first of all, I congratulate to all the students that you are part of such a big and reputed university, that they have taken a valuable efforts to conduct this kind of session, this kind of talk by the expert panelist. And my huge welcome to all the panel members. And I thank ma'am for asking a interesting question, because being an educationist since like 17 years now, I would definitely like to answer such a question, because every day I am among students. So this is a very common question asked by the students every day, that ma'am, how do we get our career secure, or how to get into top colleges, or what kind of courses or businesses we should look at. So see, dear students, I have a very small crux message for all of you, because ma'am has raised a question of whether higher education is important or not. So see, the best way to create your future is the best way to predict your future is to create it. So rather than just thinking that what will be my future, what course I will do, or keep on asking these questions here and there, I would suggest and recommend all of you to start thinking on it, and not only thinking but acting on it. So we often think that we must do this, that. So decide on the future aspects, that how do you see yourself. You have to really take your valuable time and do a SWOT analysis. I hope you all must done this. So we in this a busy era, and yes, especially these smartphones have created us more busy without anything, right? So this is a time, students, where you should work on yourself, because if not today, you are not going to get the desired results in your future. So we talk about higher education. As the competition is increasing day by day, and moreover the entering of artificial intelligence, this AI will be automatically demolishing all the manpower requirements. So definitely only the one who is fit for the industry, only the one who has worked on himself or herself would be the survivor in the future. So no doubt that higher education is an important, essential aspect. We should not at all ignore it. Definitely whatever you are doing today, has already, brought you to a level where your future or your course of futures are somewhat decided. Because I believe you all are BTech or graduation pursuing students. So all of somewhat like is decided that tomorrow you will be doing MTech, GATE exam or directly jobs. So talking about higher education comes into an aspect, definitely. But as we have been gathered here to talk about an aspect of entrepreneurship, so I would also like to give a contribution to this. So I have a question from the audience. Anyone can answer except the teachers. That, do you know who is the youngest entrepreneur in India? I'm not asking about the world or globally, but especially because, we belong and आप सबने जय हिंद बोला. So do you know कि हमारे country को जब हम value करते हैं, so are we aware about who is the youngest CEO, youngest entrepreneur of our country? Do we know it well? Yes. Excellent. Your name? Rudraksh. A huge round of applause for Rudraksh, everybody. Yes. Mr. Tilak Mehta. See, he was just 13 when he started a PNP organization, which is paper and parcel. As ma'am and sir and everybody in the panel member has almost discussed every essential element and parameter. So one key point was identifying a real problem. Not only Tilak Mehta, but we have many to name in this context. Second name I would say is Bhavishya Agarwal, the CEO of Ola. We have definitely used the services, isn't us? We would have definitely, or maybe if not yet, in future you will be also opting, and like many more, Make My Trip and all. These people have identified a real problem, that what is the struggle they have been facing, and so the same is being faced by the others too in this country or nearby. And then they have given a right kind of solution. So identifying a problem, then offering a better solution, and of course sticking to it, because not everything will be scalable in a day or month or a year. Everything takes time. So what is the biggest weakness of the students of today's era is what I can see, because I am almost with the students every second day. Even today I have my another session in one of the institutes. So it is the level of patience. We expect the results to be like this, right? So don't be in rush, don't be in hurry. Just have a conviction in your idea. If your idea is good, definitely it will be a big future in the tomorrow's time. So as the Mool mantras, I would like you all to work on the very basic points, and this is going to be triple C, so that you all can remember. One is, you wanted to be an entrepreneur, you wanted to be successful, whatever ways you are admiring at. So the one foremost thing that is needed in today's era to be successful is communication. So, and here I don't just say that communication is only restricted to speak in English, but whatever you say must be clear to the other person. Whatever you say must be loud and obviously being able to be understood, because you know that communication is a two-way process, right? So pick out those ideas, students, which we have been taught in our books and lectures. Don't miss out on that basics. So have a strong level of communication. Second is confidence. See, ma'am has said that I have been awarded with Narayani Sushma Swaraj Award and so forth. So whatever I have achieved, what if I come here and don't speak anything? Will you people like me? No, I don't think you will be liking me or remembering any one of us if we just keep sitting here. So have a confidence about your own self, what you are trying to say. Have a strong, faith in what you want to say, what you want to say, do in your life. Third point is again conviction. So I talked about 3C, so this is a third one, conviction. Like we are talking about identifying the problem, starting up with a small idea, or whatever you are going to start with as an entrepreneurship in your future career. So have a strong conviction that whatever I am doing will be right. Don't be bothered about every second person's viewpoints. See, viewpoints, feedbacks are important in life, but don't be puzzled or don't underestimate yourself that I'll not be able to do. Have strong faith in your vision. So if you work on these three basic skills, I hope you all will be able to be successful entrepreneurs in future, and I wish good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So Charles Darwin has come again into the picture, the survival of the fittest. We still, and this time we have got war with the machines, right? So we have to fit in our education, we have to fit in our communication, we have to fit in the confidence, and again we are here to help you. Now Professor Edmond, coming back to again, I'll come again back to you. This is India for you. And I would like to know that you have been coming to India again and again, and you do know the mindset of the people, the students, and you have been communicating with our dean for so long. So I would like to know that what is the mindset of American students when it comes to the entrepreneurship or the innovation and research? Are they unwilling or they rush towards it? And what is the mindset of the American students?
Well, the American students, you did say American students?
Yeah, I would like to know.
Okay. The American students, and I was so surprised at the American students. I was at a conference maybe 2 years ago, entrepreneurship conference, and I had no idea that about 40% of the American students are considering becoming entrepreneurship. And they do not want to work for anyone. And the number one reason, I think you mentioned it, is that they have a passion for doing something different, not working for anyone else. So that was shocking. That was truly shocking. And continuing on with that, students at my campus, we have students confronting me all the time with their business plans. That's another shocker. It makes me feel so great when they come up and talk about, I have a business plan, I'd like you to see it. And then they take it from ideation to realization. And some of them continue, some of them will grow, but some of them will fail. Like for instance, very good example. I'm going to bring in my good friend Dr. Manoj in it. I have one student who has a hair business. She's operating it out of her apartment, making a lot of money. I was shocked. My wife and I went over there, not to get any hair, but to look at her, because she's a close friend, and she was doing her work. So I told her I was coming to India for a while, and she needed hair. And Dr. Manoj and I spent half of a day yesterday negotiating with a distributor for hair. So that's an example of somebody on campus who's already has the mindset. You know, she has the qualities. You know, she's independent. She's resilient. She has all the qualities of being an entrepreneurship, and she's put it into fruition. She's really working it. So going back, about 40% of students through a survey have said that they want to become an entrepreneur. This young lady here, that's one of my pride and joy. And we have several others. Some of them have not made it. But we have another one in Atlanta, Georgia. He took a class with me back in 2007, and he didn't make it. He flunked accounting. But it did not stop him. He signed a contract with Nike. Now he has the largest shoe company.
Just told it,
I made it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'm still thinking about him because he has not given me a free pair yet. But yeah, so the mindset is very positive of students at my university, and most of the 40% I gave was not just my university, it was the universities throughout the USA. They want a business. Okay.
Thank you, Professor Edmond. So we conclude here, coming back again to the Viksit Bharat 2047, the dream of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, that we do need our entrepreneurs. And as sir said, that in America, 40% of the students are aiming to open the businesses or be the entrepreneurs. They do not want to work under anyone. So 40% is a big number. Do we have that? And we have to reach them. We have to beat the big brother. How do we do that? We need entrepreneurs in among ourselves, right? So I hope this session would be beneficial to you in this sense, and you will think beyond your horizons, beyond your comfort zone, and come out of them and think about giving some idea into the reality. Now I will open the floor from the audience. So if this panel discussion has impacted upon you to say something, I would like to open the questions.
Jain sir, Jain ma'am. Myself Rudraksh from BTech first year, Food Technology. My question is from architect Bhupendra Kumar sir. Sir, what is the exact timing during course of study, after course of study or later if we want to start something innovative?
Very good question. So the answer lies in itself. You just answered one question, that who was the youngest entrepreneur.
Yes sir.
So I hope now you have the answer. So it is no right time. It is whenever you have the idea, you immediately start that. Don't wait for the time to come in. And one more important thing, like as we are talking, all of us are talking about the entrepreneurship. Just imagine a situation when 100% of us are entrepreneur. From where we will get the team? Because without team, as Sir has also said in his lecture, nothing is possible. You cannot go solo. You have to have a team to work with. कौन आएगा नौकरी करने अगर सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं तो? So there is another word which is entrepreneur. You all must have heard about Indra Nooyi. She hasn't founded Pepsi, right? But she was there to lead. So in fact, whatever you are doing, whether at any stage you are having, whether you are in the first year, final year, you have joined some company or you are doing your own, if you are taking ownership, you are an entrepreneur. So don't wait for the right time. Always it is the right time. Just start.
Thank you sir.
Jai Hind, I am Aditi from BTech CSC second year. My question is from Mahima ma'am. Suppose ma'am I have a business idea and I need a co-founder for it. How do I go and find one? Along with this question, I have one more question. That is, what not to do during the process of entrepreneurship?
Excellent. I think many of the startups fail due to not having the right co-founders. So what happened initially, I'll share my example too. You can have a seat, please. Initially, when I was doing graduation, I realized that helping someone in education and guiding is making me happy. So when I was graduating, I started teaching student, right? When I was in second year, I was teaching first year. When I was in third year, I was teaching second year. Even though a time came when I started teaching my same batch student, I never thought that over the time it would turn more than 250 crores a company. So altogether we have done over the years, but I never realized. So that was the passion I had. But when we look for co-founders, the first thing what we do, say if I am good in teaching, I am good in understanding business idea. So what we look at, okay, you are good at marketing or you are good at tech, why don't we join together and let's do it? And that's where we fail. The other person may be interested only in building tech, only in building your website, but not into the solving your core problem. And most of the time, they are passionate about, could be a marketing, could be a building tech, but not solving the problem. Initially, all look very rosy. You go together, you discuss, being a new founders, you have exciting journey, but very soon it fails. So spend time with whoever you are keen on having a co-founder and see if this person also excited enough to solve the same problem, or he just would like to be called as a co-founder. So something we should really, look at. The second thing is, and if you really want to see, sometimes people say, yeah, I'm also interested in to solve the same problem. So what you have to do is you spend more time and try switching the problem. Say if you're trying to solve some problem in education, you say, yaar, chhod ye sab, let's do a restaurant business. And then figure out the excitement. If it is the same excitement this person is showing in the another problem, then it might happen that you continue your journey and a year after someone else, make him excited towards another business and he leaves your organization. So having the right set of team, your co-founder, is really important. Answering to your second question, what not to do. I think this is what we have learned in our 20 years of journey, what not to do. And I think, all of us sharing what to do, I would share what not to do. Okay, if you are not keen, if you feel you have not yet figured out what's your niche, don't rush.
I am Nandini Dixit from BTech first year Food Technology. My question is from Riya ma'am. Ma'am, what role do the government policies play in fostering or hindering the entrepreneurship and innovation across India and abroad?
So see, definitely our government is fostering innovation, and the very recent example for the same is that our Yogi ji, उन्होंने अभी एक policy निकाली है that all the YouTubers and influencers who have 10 millions around subscribers will be paid 5 lakh rupees monthly from the government. So it is not like that it is you who is going to survive and strive all on your own, but yes, the government is taking big initiatives. They are supporting the youth, they are supporting entrepreneurs, and definitely our Prime Minister, as ma'am has been repeatedly said, they want the Viksit Bharat. So this will be only possible if our students, our youth, our nation is being supported by them. So there are many different policies, you can have a look at them. So the government is very supportive for the same.
On behalf of University Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, it is my great honor to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all those who have contributed to its success. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Edmond from HT University, USA. Sir, your thought-provoking address has provided us with valuable perspectives on innovation and entrepreneurship. Your words have truly inspired all of us, and we are deeply thankful of your presence and insights today. Thank you, sir. I would also like to extend a special thanks to our distinguished panelist, architect Bhupendra Kumar, founder and managing director, Aeforia Group, Noida, Mrs. Mahima Garg, CEO, CertoMeter, Bengaluru, and Mrs. Riya Jawla, chairperson, Omtej Education Private Limited. Your contributions have added great depth to our discussions and broadened our understanding of the challenges and opportunities in this dynamic field. A heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Major General Dr. G.K. Thapliyal sir, although he is not here at present, but the leadership and unwavering support he provided to us is the only reason that made this event possible. I would also like to express my deep appreciation to our CEO, Professor Dr. Shailya Raj ma'am, for her visionary leadership and support in driving innovation and entrepreneurship within the university. A special thanks to Professor Dr. Manoj Kapil, Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, for his invaluable contributions in organizing this event. Sir, without your guidance and involvement, it is not possible for us to organize such a wonderful event. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank all the guests, head of institutions, faculty members for gracing this event with your presence. Your participation has made this symposium truly special, and we are honored to have such a distinguished audience. A special mention goes to the entire organizing committee for their tireless effort in planning and coordinating this event. There are a lot of people who are involved in organizing this event. I would prefer not to say their name from this stage, because there might be possibility that I forget to mention some of the names. So I would prefer not to say any name of any particular one. So I would like to thank all the members of the coordinating committee. Thank you all. Your hard work behind the scenes has ensured that everything runs smoothly. Finally, I would like to thank all the students and attendees for your enthusiasm and engagement. Your active participation in the discussion was truly commendable and added great value to the event. Once again, thank you all for being part of this symposium. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.